And welcome you guys, welcome everyone to game number 1 in the series, the second set of the day, the cyber set. Whoever wins over here moves on to the quarterfinals. Whoever loses over here gets knocked out of the tournament. For the civilizations then, as we already saw, Nicov's gonna play with Lithuanians, game number 1, which means he begins with 150 extra food. Besides that, Lithuanians will get 10% faster moving skirmishers and spearline units. 1 extra attacks on Knights and Lychee, and Lychee units per each relic garrison up to 4. So up to +4 attack is going to make them extremely strong if they do get a hold of those. And because of the relic bonus, they also have a team bonus, which makes monasteries work 20% faster. So they can go for monks a little bit quicker. They can go for the upgrades faster as well. For MbL, on the other hand, playing with Pulse means that he gets HP regeneration on the villagers, increasingly so depending on the age, as well as very efficient stone miners to collect gold in addition to stone from an outcropping, a stone outcropping. And then on top of that, we also see for Pulse access to Folwark. For the team bonus, they get bonus. Actually, they get bonus damage. 1 bonus damage against archer units from scout line units. That's going to be about it. So let's go and take a look at the TC location. This is still technically a nomad style map, and the guys, they need to take the time to see where it is that they're going to place the TC. They could potentially get a TC. Let's take a look. Yeah, they could potentially get a TC closer to the center, closer to the hunt, or they can get a TC further back over here, closer to the resources. And Nicov's going for the TC closer to the minerals on the back, so he's got this one right next to the golds on both the right and left hand sides of the TC. On the right hand side, we have a stone over here as well, and then on the left hand side, another one too. And I would say the TC over here is equidistant to all of these resources. Not all of these, but to both these stones, for instance. Very close in distance between both these golds as well. And it shouldn't be too difficult for Nicov to protect himself by going for something like from here to here, here to here, and then towards the TC, right? So something like this will be pretty good for him. Potentially, he can also just ignore the stone and go for something like this instead. And that's going to be a little bit cheaper and a little bit faster as well. So that'll be good. Taking a look at the map generation instead for the red player, we see that the MbL is also very, very close to the minerals. He's got 2 goals on the right hand side. He's got 1 goal towards the south. And he's got 2 stones very far away though, while this stone on the back is beautiful and it's going to be super safe for him to collect. He also has plenty of safe wood over here on the back, which is fantastic, and it shouldn't be too difficult for him to wall himself up. He can either go for something like from here to here, here to here, right, something like that, and have this one secure on the back anyway. Alternatively, we could see the walls come up instead from here to here, and then he would have also this wall line secure as we were talking about earlier, which would be nice, but it's not strictly necessary. And the problem with this is that unless he actually goes and tries to take some wood from here, then his villagers will be too far away to actually protect this wall. Alright, another pause. Not really sure what this is for. Is anybody dropping here? Not really, but I guess we are going to have a restore. Yeah, let's go back. But here we are, once again, we continue where we left off before. As the players are not restarting, but rather restoring the game. So, the TC positions are going to be the same. Everything we talked about earlier is going to remain the same as well, in terms of resources for both these guys. However, Nicov's going up to the field. He's going to be there very soon. He's got militias coming over. And MbL reacts with the villagers. He's got the soul militias coming out. Nicov's got to be careful, but he gets to the village the first. So, if he goes for man-at-arms, should be in a pretty good spot. And it doesn't seem like he's got the intention to go for man-at-arms at all. As a matter of fact, he used an extra villager instead when he was getting very close to having the resources. The brass position blocks the farm? Yes. Potentially. Here comes the engagement. MbL's not going for Minotaur. See, there's got only 2 militias over here, so Nicov's got technically the stronger military, but that's because he took one of the militias down from MbL and he was left on 2. Not because MbL had gone for 2. And Nicov, the HP is not looking quite as good anymore. He's getting pushed back over here. In the end, it's actually a better trade for MbL. Plus, he gets a defensive tower right next to the berries. And down the south, Nicov's got archers on the way now. He went for the archer range as soon as he got to the fuel H. MbL instead, he's just sticking to the barracks and the defensive tower, and that's all that it's going to take for him to defend himself. But archers could be really good. Sure, he won't be able to push from the north, but if he goes around, he should be able to come around here and then put pressure from here, or potentially even from further back over here and push the villagers away from berries. Yeah, and the tower blocks another farm. I'm not really sure how much MbL will be banking on farms around the forward folwark though. I would expect him to go for extra folwarks on the back over here, and for the most part this is just out of necessity to collect from the berries. Although with the tower over there, I guess he could go for farms now because he's got protection, but he would only be able to garrison 5 villages inside the tower, so I guess just going for 5 farms around the folwark over here is fine anyway, right? Forward, yes. A tongue twister right there. Predictions for game number 1 are on, guys. You have 2 minutes left to get the predictions going for who you think is going to win game number 1. With option 1, I imagine Nicov, and option 2 being MbL. We'll see a very one-sided prediction contest right now. Heavily favoring the first option. Great opportunity for anybody hoping to play the odds here. And there we are. The archers coming forward. Nicov increases his pressure a little bit. And on the right hand side, he's got extra archers coming over. Now this is completely open. Does MbL not realize? He's got no idea. He's got no idea. We already saw these types of holes be so impactful in previous series yesterday, mainly. Mr. Yo versus Valas, anyone? But yeah, Nicov's coming forward. Here we go. Beautiful. The archers are getting to the base of the tower. Obviously, it's not possible for Nicov to do too much damage now that the towers are coming up from MbL, but he's done a good job putting pressure and forcing these towers up. I guess in any case, Nicov probably, or actually MbL probably doesn't really care about that too much because he wants to collect stone anyway. The villagers will be just the most efficient. It's just that now that he's gotten pushed away from the stone, he won't be able to go for it anymore and he's gonna have to bank on extra gold. At this point in time, the working count is pretty dead even. 32 for both these guys with comparable idle TC times. A little bit higher for MbL, but nothing considerable. And military count is significantly stronger for MbL though. Yeah, and you know what? Nicov isn't really doing too much damage with these archers. But there we go! He's got a third group of archers moving forward, pushing the villagers away from MbL. Away from the stone. And he's got a fourth archer coming up over here. My lord. Nicov might have been able to get a village down over here if he had committed to this a little bit harder, but he wasn't really paying attention over there too much, so in the end, he just kind of bails. However, he will be the first player to click out to the castle age. If you take a look at the resources, he's got almost enough to click up. Well, MbL is not even close. He is collecting a lot of gold though, so he could potentially buy the food that he needs. But I'm not really sure. Yeah, he doesn't have a market. He's going for the market right now. Yeah, and that blocks another farm. He can still get 5, but it's not going to be efficient, right? So just going to stick to to 4 probably. Pro strat forced a pole player to build balance around his folwark. Just 4? Can't he go for 1 more over here? Why is there no range? Wasn't the folwark... Yeah, okay, there we go. Now it's got range. Wait, what? Anyway, but can't you just build it that it still touches it? No? It's gotta... it's gotta completely surround the farm. Right. Interesting. Oh, he does go for the 5th one. Ha! I knew it all along. This is what I was expecting the 5th one to come up. 100% legit. Regardless though, MbL's going up to the castle age now, and Nicov's gonna be there in about 55 seconds. Yeah, I actually didn't really think that there was enough space over here for one, but he got it. And how many archers do we have left for Nicov? About 10, right? So once he gets to the castle age in about 20 seconds, he'll be able to go for crossmen. That's gonna be so much deadlier than archers. Just gotta be careful not to get cleaned up over here as the tower's coming up, and I don't think he's got vision of it. He knows. Okay. Yeah, there we go. He's got knights on the way right away. Nicov's going for a forward stable in the forward siege workshop. He'll try to strike over here. Why? Because MbL is completely exposed. He's got some towers right now, yes, but that's forward economy. If he can take the tower down, if he can take the folwark down, MbL is gonna have to bail from there. And MbL, I would say guard tower, yes, would benefit him greatly. Given the amount of towers he's gone for already, it's pretty much a no-brainer. Nicov's got rams actually on the ways, no mangonels, and there is another stable on the way for him as well, so it's gonna be double stables. No crossman upgrade yet. Doesn't seem like he's thinking of it too much. At the very least, he can't really afford it right now, but would be great still. Now Town Watch is coming in. There we go. As he pushes MbL, the red player's got a bail from here, abandoning 5 farms, the folwark, the towers, barracks. And here comes Nicov. Still no chain bar than armor, but with scale bar than armor, he can still get a village down over there. We're gonna see it go down. Yes, sir. So far, MbL's the only player to have taken villager losses. 3 villagers dead so far. With the towers going down over here, potentially the folwark and the barracks, that's going to be hundreds upon hundreds of resources down the gutter for MbL. Scaring a monastery and the PC, so no university, no guard tower. 2 monasteries, as a matter of fact. He's expecting Nicov to go pretty heavily on tonight, so Nicov obliges. For double stable, he will keep on going for more. And to be honest, if he went for the crossman upgrade, he will be able to counter the monks before they become an issue. But right now, he's still just prioritizing full knight production, nothing more. Beautiful. Mark it down now for MbL as well. That's gotta hurt, man. It's got a 30 TC on the back, but under this pressure, going for extra TCs when you're later to the castle age, you're under so much pressure. Seems, not gonna lie, too risky. And I love it that MbL, or actually I love it that Nicov's decided to go for ramps over here, because even if MbL goes for redemption, he won't be able to convert these at a distance. While if Nicov had gone for mangonels, that would have been a different situation, right? So here comes MbL, is gonna try to get the conversions, and Nicov's going forward. He's gonna try and commit. Right now it's a little bit too late for him to bail back, and the monks get a single conversion and pushed into the TC, while the knights are surrounded the TC, the rams surrounded the TC over here. And MbL's gonna try to get the conversions coming up over here. The Warlords coming up, and he gets one. He does not get a single extra knight. The monks go down, and that's a few hundred extra resources down the gutter from MbL as the TC goes down over here and the monks went down. Gold Wood, stone, everything down the drain for MbL, and Nicov's momentum is incredible! How does MbL stop this? The monasteries are going down. The only way for him to take these ramps is by converting knights and using the converted units to take the ramps down, but so far, he's been, for the most part, unsuccessful at it. And Nicov? Well, Nicov's got more crosses coming up right now. He knows there is nothing for MbL to defend himself with anyway. So he doesn't really need the knights, and crossbows will be significantly harder and much less cost effective for the monks to convert, of course. So what was the strategy for MbL? Quite clearly go for forward folwark farms. But it didn't work out. Nicov ended up pushing him out. I think he probably just had to adapt to Nicov's push. In the field age, Nicov denied so much of MbL's economy that MbL felt he needed the extra TCs to protect the rest of his economy when he got to the castle age, but it was too late and he was playing catch up. Kind of feels like it might have been the only option though, because Nicov was the one going for aggression. If MbL got to the castle age and went for a single TC full military production, I'm really sure he would have fared a lot better over here. And Nicov seems like he should have basically the game guaranteed. So long as he pays attention over here and prevents taking conversions for free. Yeah. Plus he had the crossbows inside the rounds. Now the crosses will take villages down. The knights will take villages down. Ram needs to target the TC, not the lumber camp. There we go. And we have 2 converted knights over there from MbL. Most likely going down over here on the Ram. The Ram's going to stay up for the time being. The TC is going to stay up for the time being, and MbL is defending pretty well, or at the very least is delaying the push from Nicov greatly. As the Ram goes down, the Knights and the Crosses go down over here. Nicov overstayed his welcome a little bit, but he's definitely the one still in the driver's seat. With more economy, a higher worker count, a much better eco KD, as of course the only player to have taken villages down this game. Nicov is in a world of his own. He's got a much stronger military count as well. Now he's having a 3rd and the 4th TC. So if he was already ahead with only 2 TCs against the triple TC strat from MbL, now he's going to start pulling even further ahead. More monasteries on the way now for MbL too. He had lost one, so this is going to be the 2nd one. He's got a market on the way. No university still, no guard tower. And Nicov's actually taking the monks down. Even without ballistics, the monks are pretty slow and Nicov ends up taking them for the most part. He's gonna go for another one and MbL gets a conversion. In any case, MbL's monk control this game has been, for the most part, pretty good. Where are the relics? That's a great question. So far, nobody has collected a single relic yet. If we take a look at the resource view, we'll see 1 relic forward somewhere. Where is it actually? Oh, it's behind the palisade over here. And then there's 1 relic on the back over here. So there's only up to 2 relics. No relic Lithuanian, no. Seems to be working out just fine for Nicov. I guess he was probably just banking on the extra food. Yeah, well hidden. I don't think in the game it's much more visible than in Capture Age actually, so Nicov might not realize about it. But to be honest, he didn't even take the relic back home, so it doesn't seem like he's, you know, caring about it too much anyway. Here we are. MbL stabilizes. Gets enough stone to get a castle level Nicov. Nicov's gonna start making a play for monks himself. He's got 2 monks out, redemption on the way. He's gonna have enough stone to go for a castle himself very soon. But still definitely on the lead. Let's take a look at the gallery economy time. Much higher for Nicov. 2 hours higher compared to MbL. 120 minutes. You know, it's gonna be worth about 2,000 extra resources. And if you take a look at the eco upgrades as well, Nicov's the only player to have wheelbarrow. In case anybody doesn't know, AM players are only allowed to go for eco upgrades against other AM players. Against other players, non-AM players, they just must assert dominance by playing for no economy. But anyway, over here he does have wheelbarrow, he's got heavy plow, he's got boso as well. And his economy is significantly stronger, of course, so he'll be the first player going up to the Imperial Age sometime soon. Let's take a look at the engagement over here, though. We see the monks over there. It's got redemption. It's going for sanctity. He's waiting for it. And now the crosses are coming over, trying to get the monks down. He's going to end up getting a lot of these down so far. 300 resources down the drain, but that's a huge shot from MbL, cleaning up the crossbows and keeping the monks out and pushing Nicov out of here. But I hope Nicov gets got that more visible relic mod. What does it do, by the way? Does it increase the size, or does it make it more visible in the minimap? Yeah. The castle over there being the night is huge. Nicov's still in the lead, though. You don't get back from a 2-hour gather economy deficit by the 9-1 castle. And Nicov will still be very much so the first player to get to the Imperial Age. He's got the resources, got the billing, so he clicks up. MbL instead, he's got redemption on the way only now, and Nicov should be in a good spot over here. Once he gets to the Imperial Age, he'll get access to with Lithuanians, of course, Cavalier. He can potentially make a play for Light Chai over here if he wanted to as well. And it seems like he finally collected one of the relics, and then the other one's still going to remain behind the palisade over here, and MbL doesn't seem to be interested, or doesn't seem to know that it's there. And we'll see the stables get converted over here, right? I mean, MbL's got redemption. He's just finished researching it, so all these stables are getting converted, and yeah, Nicov's not going to have any of that. It adds a star hovering on top of the relic. Ah, right. Castle's coming out for Nicov. The one guy really hates monasteries. Yeah. And yeah, that's the second castle for the bull players. MbL will click up to the Imperial Age. He is still behind compared to Nicov by quite a lot. So what does over 2 hours of extra gather economy time do for Nicov? Allows him to go up to the Imperial Age earlier, much earlier. It's gonna be there, and MbL's still 2.5 minutes away from it. Nicov's also gonna get 2 castles up over here compared to the 1 castle from MbL. And of course, also partially supports the extra eco upgrades too, which will in turn make his economy even stronger in the future. Or actually right away, right? Yeah, the lead is extending quite a lot. It's gonna be 4 hours of extra gather economy time for Nicov in just a moment. Okay, seems like he's gonna go for skirmishers. No, wait. What? Hand cannoneer? Hand cannoneer, yeah, he's going for chemistry. He's got the archer ranges coming out. It's gotta be hand cannoneer against the Yobo. Makes sense. And the hand cannoneer are not going to be quite as cost effective as well to convert from these monks from MbL. Tertial halberdiers and flying hussar. He's going for hand cannoneer. He's gonna need something else on top of that. He could just go full Turks and go for bombard cannons as well in addition to it, but let's see. He's got like cavalry forward coming up. Gonna take some of the villagers down over here. MbL was starting to collect some extra stone. Does end up getting pushed away momentarily, but the Yobuch will be strong enough to push the light cavalry away. Nice attack round from MbL. Regardless though, we see these monks completely exposed. They are going down. Oh, this is so good. This is so good for Nicov. He takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monks down. 500 resources for the cost of a single light cavalry now. He's going for plow lines, husbandry, and the hand cannoneer coming up. So it seems like it's going to be HC and Hussar, potentially. Their castle on the way for Nicov. Surprised that he's not been going for trebuchets at all, given the fact that he knows MbL is on a castle, and especially because MbL's been banking on the Obuk so much. I guess if he gets enough hand cannoneer out that the Obuk are not going to be much of a problem anymore, then Nicov doesn't really have much of an incentive to take the castle down, because MbL going for Obuk will be wasted resources anyway. So instead, Nicov's got block printing coming up in conscription. And with block printing, the monks are going to be fantastic against siege weapons. MbL's going for Onager now. And this can be rough, man. 12 conversion range for block printing monks. And the Onagers are not going to be anywhere near as high range, of course. So MbL's in troubles here. Certainly looks to be the case. And certainly seems like it's been the case for a while already in this game, as Nicov managed to get a lead as early as the field age, with all the archers coming around and pushing MbL around. There we go, the archers here, and we see the monk coming over. Nicov's gotta pay attention. He is now. The archer gets taken back. And bombard cannons are definitely an option over here for Nicov. This is what I was expecting. What I was kind of hoping for. Honestly, not necessarily expecting. And we see the Anja over there getting converted. And MbL is trying to pull it back just in time. He takes it back. Moves the Obuk forward. And we'll see the conversions come up over here against the Obuk. But take a look at that. He converted the Onager though. He managed to load or to charge the conversion with one of the Obuk. And then when the Onager came up, Nicov changed target immediately and managed to get the Onager conversion over there. Now we have extra bombard cannons coming up, and you know what? The blue player still has a few monks over here left. He's got an illumination a few moments ago as well, so they do regenerate faith quite a lot. Nice Onager shot from MbL, and Nicov's gotta be careful. Nicov's gotta be careful. He finally brings a trebuchet into the mix, but with the bombard cannons, he should be fine anyway. And MbL will most likely not end up losing the castle over here. He's got some trebuchets, mind you. But if Nicov plays his cards right, he can target the trebs down, and just like that, bow! Treb goes down. And we'll see the Onager over there, though. He's gotta be careful as well. Nicov! Takes the Onagers down just with a hand cannoneer, not even trying to convert these. Just dominating with HC. And then on the right hand side, the extra stables come up. Certainly indicate a much heavier transition to Hussar. And you were onto something. It's got 27 Hussar queued up. From 3 stables is not enough, so it makes sense for him to go for the extra stables. Meanwhile, MbL's going for Schlachter privileges. He's just researched Cavalier. He's going for chain bar than armor, but the castle crumbles over here. Now Nicov goes after the next one. MbL's definitely still on the back foot, especially as he loses the castle and loses population space. He's housing 160 out of 150 units. And that's a good Onager shot, but still, Nicov ends up taking down the Onager. So he's done a really good job, even if he's taken a few losses here and there. The hand cannoneer were able to take the Onager down for the most part. The bombard cannons over here, of course, are looking very strong too. And then the trebuchets will just provide that extra range that he needs for completely safe siege against whatever MbL goes for now. MbL is going for Cavaliers, trying to go pretty heavily into it. The problem, though, for the red player, production potential, man, in space. He doesn't have enough houses over here to actually go for much of anything. And you know what? Once he loses the castle over here, is gonna get housed once again. This seems to be working so well for Nicov. MbL cannot go for the units, even if he's got 17 Cavalier queued up over there. For a moment he had. Simply did not have enough population space, and now having to bring a few villagers over to get extra houses happen, you know, impacts his economy. He doesn't have quite as much food to keep on going for the Cavalier too much anymore. Yeah, and the Winged Hussars are here. Nicov's got great momentum, despite the fact that MbL managed to free up some or actually managed to increase his population limit over here, he's still struggling, man. He's not being able to get past 160 population still because of Nicov's pressure over here. The amount of hand cannoneer that we have for the blue player is enough for him to take even the Cavalier down, so long as he's got a meat shield. So it's not looking particularly great for MbL. So long as Nicov keeps the unit production going, he keeps a meat shield over here. He's gonna get a castle come up over here as well. He should be in a pretty good spot, and he will. There we go. And the GG's gold. So this one coming up, and MbL will take the L for game number 1 as Nicov gets the lead in the series, 1-0. Let's go through the achievements over here before jumping into the next one. A very nice KD for Nicov in the end. It's gonna be very close to 4-3. For the economy, we have a stronger economy for Nicov by quite a lot as well. For Society 2, we see that Nicov was ahead in worker max count, but also he took the fewest losses with only 7 villagers going down throughout the game for the blue player, while MbL ended up losing about 61 villagers. Well done. Because game number 2 is here, I welcome you all to Arena. The circus, as you want to call it. We're gonna switch MbL over to the red color, and this is gonna be Khmer for Nicov and Mayans for MbL. Yes, sir. I remember Happy Leaves asking for streamers in his Discord group about it. Oh, he's got a Discord group? I wasn't even there. I didn't know that it was there. I'm going to join. I'm gonna roast chestnuts. Sounds great, Cliffy. Really nice one. Yeah. I'm gonna take a look at it. But guys, let's do more predictions. For 5 minutes, you'll be able to predict who you think will win game number 2. Option 1 will be Nicov, so it follows the same colors as what we have on stream. And option 2 will be MbL. You have 5 minutes to get going. Meanwhile, we'll talk about the civilizations. We'll talk about the map generation as well. So, starting with the blue player on the left-hand side, we'll see that Nicov with Khmer will have the ability to garrison villages inside houses. On top of that, we'll also have, for Khmer, 10% faster moving battle elephant line units. Farmers do not need mills, TCs, or to drop food. Mills or TCs to drop food. And we also have for them also no building requirements. For the team bonus, Scorpions get 1 extra range. MbL playing with Mayans instead will begin with 1 extra villager, although 50 less food. And then in addition to that, Mayans will have 15% longer lasting resources. 10, 20, and 30% extra, or actually cheaper archers in the Field of Castle and Imperial Ages respectively. And then for the team bonus, they get a discount on walls, which is going to affect all types of walls, but it's very unlikely to be useful for this map when you already start surrounded by walls. So taking a look at the map generation next, we're gonna see that for the bull player, we get the main gold very close to the TC, which is great. He's got the main stone on the back as well, then he's got a secondary gold on the back, and this is beautiful. This is probably as good as you can get in terms of map generation, because none of these resources is exposed. Which means that if MbL was to go forward for a castle drop at some point in time, potentially to go for a castle maybe around here, let's say, or something, it'll be very unlikely that MbL will be able to deny any extra resources. Of course, not unlikely, it'll be kind of impossible, right? Because if he goes for a castle over here, sure, he denies this one, but nothing else. And then if he went for the castle over here, he would deny this, but nothing else. Cannot really deny the berries because of the wood line over here preventing the castle from being placed to the right of the stone. As for the map generation for the red player instead, we'll see that MbL's got the main gold forward, so that's not good. He's got the secondary gold forward too, it's not great. The secondary goes too far away from the walls to be spotted by a scout, but this one, the main one, is not. As for the stone, he's got the main stone on the back, and then the extra resources will be outside, of course. Secondary gold and secondary stones over here up in the north and to the left-hand side, respectively. But if Nicov was to come over with a scout, right, and scout in this direction, in the castle age, he would get vision of this gold, and that could potentially prompt the blue player into a castle drop over here if he was to go for it. Now, knowing the civilizations we have to work with over here, it's very unlikely we'll see Nicov go for something like this, because Khmer are not really a sim to go for castles. It's just for, you know, a hypothetical. Most likely, we'll instead see Nicov just go up to the castle age right away. Yeah, there we go. He's already on his way to the castle age. And how does he do this? He's going up on 22 population extremely early. Because Khmer do not get building requirements, you get to the village, and if you have the resources to click out to the castle age, you can just go. You do not need markets, you do not need blacksmiths, archer ranges, stables, whatever. You can just click up and Nicov is on his way up. This usually comes at a cost though. Khmer, while they are able to go up extremely quickly, they will struggle at times to get their economies going. So it's going to take some time for him to get the extra TCs up, to get extra farms up, and to actually be able to sustain production from all 3 TCs. But should still be early enough, should still be a strong enough head start to it, that he's going to remain ahead compared to MbL for sure. And by the way, guys, 1 more minute, give or take. By the time you hear this, it's going to be 50 seconds left. In the prediction contest, for you to predict who you think is going to win game number 2. Option 1, Nicov. Option 2, MbL. Beautiful timing for Nicov. He's getting to the castle age at 9 minutes and 50 seconds exactly. I lost 26,000 bones yesterday. I need to get them back. Alright. You know, this is a map that Nicov has been using for his home map quite a lot. And he should be quite comfortable, right? Oh, when he gets to the castle age and he goes for the monastery, he's gonna try and make a play for the relics instead. He has a stable. Makes sense. No extra TCs though. But he might end up getting all 5 relics. This is going to compensate for about, or that's going to be worth about 6 fully upgraded gold miners. So ideally, he doesn't really want to give MbL the chance of going for extra TCs and getting ahead in work accounts. So Nicov does still want to go for the extra TCs himself. But yeah, the relics are certainly going to be nice. He's got the first monk coming out. Needs to queue the second one. So we see the farms come up. Nikov's kind of struggling to keep his economy in good shape. Still 1 TC only. And MbL, well, with Mayans, he can't really go for scouts himself. He's got scout cavalry. I mean, he's got eagle scouts, right? But no scout cavalry. And these guys, once you get to the field age, are already stronger compared to eagle scouts. They are faster as well. So it seems to me as if Nicov plays his cards right, he will indeed be the one to get away with all 5 relics. And he's got the first monk already going forward. He's got the second monk already queued up. He's got the second TC already coming up. And MbL gets to the castle age, immediately goes for the second TC himself. He still retains 1 extra villager compared to Nicov. And it seems like Eco over here, the work account is going to remain fairly consistent between both these guys. Yeah, Nicov doesn't care about chasing these units away. Monastery is coming out for MbL. But yeah, this should be favoring Nicov for sure. Because of the lower mobility to the Eagle Scouts, we could potentially get some conversions coming up. Interestingly enough, MbL is going for extra Eagle Scouts, and Nicov seems like he's going to give up on the prospect of 5 relics. Or at the very least, it's not going to be particularly easy or straightforward for him to get away with it. It is MbL in Arena. You need the relics. We all know this game will last forever. We'll see. Here come the monks. We have 3 over here. And Nicov's got vision of the Eagle Scouts. He's going after these right away. Cannot get the conversion, so he needs to go back and guard the relics. MbL's first monk is coming out very soon. Nicov? Yeah, Nicov's splitting his army over here, just trying to keep vision. Just trying to prevent MbL from collecting the relics at all. And Nicov, with 3 monks up in the north, should be able to collect both these, while MbL, of course, he should have vision of all the relics. Wow, the scouting information for MbL is really lackluster. It's really bad. Usually, you get to the castle age already with full center vision. And now, let's take a look if Nicov's paying attention. He needs to go for the conversions over there. He's going to do so as well. 1, 2 eagles getting converted over there. Getting targeted anyway. We're going to see the monks over here go down. Not quite. Oh, 1 monk goes down, but Nicov gets both conversions. He will get both these relics as well. And there's only 3 scouts left for MbL to play with. Which means Nicov can come forward over here, take the engagement, clean these up, and he'll still end up getting away with all 5 relics, which is just remarkable. MbL's going for the 3rd TC down the south. Meanwhile, Nicov already managed to get the 3rd TC up, and it seems like he's able to keep all 3 TCs working. And it was kind of rough for him to get to this position. Nicov's looking strong. He's gonna get a higher worker count very soon as well. Oh, that was not good. 5 versus 3. It was never going to go Nicov's way. And where are the monks though? Sending 1 monk forward. Meanwhile, MbL's going after this one. Still doesn't really know too much about the center. But we all know Nicov has already gotten 4 relics. And it's not going to be 5 in the end. But it's still going to favor him quite a lot. Yeah. Yeah, 4-1 is still... It's nothing to sneeze at, for sure. Nice pick over here for Nicov. Oh, 4 TC for MbL. Nicov doesn't know about it, right? He's got no idea. Yeah, and the relic's gone. Due to the relic location, Nicov already knows that MbL took it. He's been away from it too much, too long, and the relic's gone. So it was too close to the walls, right? So MbL took it. And now Nicov knows about the 4 TC, and he's got the stone to go for a 4 TC. Just not the wood, but he's going to have it very soon. So we will see a 4 TC come out for Nicov as well. And he's collecting stone with about 11 villagers, so he'll be able to go for a castle very soon too. There we go. TC comes, castle comes up for MbL. Nicov. No 4 TC though. He will go up to the Imperial Age instead. Take a look at his resources.
Shot it.
There we are. Imperial Age is on the way. If MbL's keeping track of the scores, he should have realized Nikov's score has dropped quite a bit. And he should be trying to utilize the market. He should be trying to rush the Imperial Age as much as he can, of course, as Nicov once he gets there. If he manages to get a castle up, and given the amount of stone minus he's got, should be able to. Will be the first player with access to trebuchets, and that's going to put MbL in a very awkward spot. As he's going for full marches right now, he's going to be relying on the castle for unit production, and Nicov will have the tools to take the castle down with once he gets to the Imperial Age and starts going for trebuchets himself.
Shot it.
It's to expand. Why no one picked it? It's not banned. I don't think it was drafted though. Let me check. Oh, no. Turks was actually picked by Nicov, but he decided to go for Khmer over here instead, interestingly enough. It was not banned, and it was picked by Nicov, but he's not using it over here. I'm really sure where he wants to use it. Originally, the map draft had an error in it, and it had Black Forest. So it would have made sense for that, maybe. But it was a mistake, and it was meant to be Yucatan, so they redrafted the civilizations. Beautiful. 50C on the way for MbL. On his way to the Imperial Age. Meanwhile, Nicov's already up. He's got the castle up. He's been going for some ballista elephants. Like cavalry on the way, scale. Barden armor on the way. And it seems like it's going to be Hussar and ballista elephant. So a meat shield and ballista from behind. Could be really good, you know. Mounted Scorpion. Tankier, sturdier compared to standard Scorpions. Although not as high range compared to Scorpions for Khmer specifically, but yeah. Another castle on the way for Nicov. Yes, this confirms he will be 100% committing to the ballista elephant over here. So as long as he's got a meat shield, this should be really strong, of course. MbL's archer units will not be good enough. And Eagles could potentially struggle as well. If we have Hussar in front from Nicov, the Eagles will take on the Hussar, especially once MbL gets El Dorado and Elite Eagle Warriors. But the ballista elephants from behind, if good enough in numbers, should be able to clean up the Eagles from Nicov. Don't get me wrong, both are great players, but two non-bombard cannon civilizations does not make sense. Yeah, well, good thing we don't have the in-house clown over here to cry over this. But I'm sure she must be weeping somewhere by seeing this game. But hey, who doesn't want to see ballista elephants? We're in the circus, might as well just see the clowns, right? Might as well clown around. Here we are. Siege Workshop's coming up. What's their HP? 270, very, very high. They're not quite as high range compared to Scorpions, but they are very tanky. And if you get double crossbows, which Nicov needs to go for if he's ever hoping to actually do any damage with these guys, that's going to be much better as well. But for the time being, he's going just for extra Siege Workshops though. So he's going for hand cannoneer now. He's not committing to the ballista anymore whatsoever. Rams on the way. He's got a little bit of everything, a little bit of an AI army over here for Nicov. Very soon he's gonna have enough resources to go for another castle, and that'll increment his production potential for ballista elephants by 50%. But yeah, he's just anticipating the full switch to Eagle Warriors from MbL, and MbL's been going for it. It's got 50 Eagle Warriors, Elite Eagle Warriors. And here he comes. He's got two armies coming up, surrounding the units from Nicov. The hand cannoneer are getting completely melted over there, and the ballista elephants will get taken down to MbL. Domination at the center of the map. Wipes out the army from Nicov, and it's not even close. He's left on 46 Elite Eagle Warriors, while Nicov goes down to 6 military units. That was interesting to see from Nicov, but definitely not the most effective army composition that I have seen in a while. And it seemed as if it was too flip-floppy from Nicov. Going for one thing, then switching over to the next thing. Realizing MbL's got a counter for it, switching over to the next thing. Right, from ballista elephants to light cavalry to hand cannoneer. The end, he didn't really have enough units to hold on against just a big ball of Eagle Warriors from MbL, so he gets cleaned up, and MbL over here has got some great momentum. He's got the Trebuchet putting pressure against castles from Nicov. Even if he's got a single castle, MbL will still be able to get enough trebs out to take Nicov down over here, and this is remarkable! Nicov is getting clapped on Arena and calls the GG! Calls the GG as MbL takes game number 2, but Nicov gets to keep Turks, but I'm not really sure where he's going to make use of it. We'll see. Going through the achievements though, really quickly, we'll see that for military, you have a stronger KD for MbL, and it's not even close, man. That was very close to 5-2 KD ratio for MbL. Stronger economy for Nicov, sure. And then also he went for pricier units too, but it was just not enough. The numbers from MbL trumped everything that Nicov went for this game. Well done. And welcome everyone then to game number 3. To see who gets the lead in the series, Nicov playing in the north with Dravidians. MbL playing with Japanese down the south. And we'll know predictions. For 5 minutes, you're going to be able to utilize your channel points to predict who you think is going to win game number 3. Option 1 will remain Nicov. Option 2 will remain MbL. And go nuts! Taking a look at the civilization bonuses for Nicov, Dravidians will get faster attacking skirm and elephant archer units. They also get a 50% discount on barracks upgrades, as well as 200 extra wood upon reaching a new age. Right, for Dravidians, which is great. And then for the team bonus, they'll also have extra population from the dock. So you go for a dock, you get 5 extra population. Finally, and besides that, fishermen and fishing ships carry 15 extra resources for the Dravidians. While MbL playing with Japanese instead, he will have 33% faster attacking infantry units starting in the fuel age as well as a 50% discount on drop-off buildings, mining camps, lumber camps, and mills. His ships, his fishing ships, respectively, will get, actually, specifically, they will get 5, 10, 15, and 20% faster working rates in the Dark Hero Castle and Imperial Ages, and they get twice the HP, plus 2 Pierce Armor. And then for the team bonus, Japanese will have also 50% extra line of sight on galley line units. So we have seen this map in the past a few times, and usually the way it goes is whoever gets to the fuel age earlier, whoever gets to the fire galleys earlier gets a significant lead. You can still try to utilize your defensive advantage to try and garrison some galleys until you get the numbers you need to fight fire galleys up, but until then you're going to be taking a lot of damage, and especially if you're fighting against a civilization that gets especially quick fuel times, such as the Mongols for instance, it can be very, very difficult to hold on. There isn't really a whole lot of room over here to maneuver. The lake is not that big, so fire galleys can be extremely effective. A little bit of the skirmisher on the left hand side, and then we'll take a look at the map generation for both these guys. 2.5 minutes remain for you to get your predictions going. Option 1 Nicov, option 2 MbL. As both these players are going up to the fuel age, we see that MbL's got a little bit of an advantage to it though. He's going up about 23 seconds faster compared to Nicov. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like Nicov's going to take the engagement over here whatsoever. He's got to be careful though. Once MbL gets to the fuel age, he'll outpace, he'll outrun the scout from Nicov, and because the blue player has already been taking a little bit of damage over here, most likely than not, MbL is gonna be the one getting the scout pick over there. Second jog's on the way now for MbL as well. So while we wait for that to happen, let's take a look at the map generation over here for Nicov. Now that doesn't really change too much because the players are divided by the water, but he's got 1 goal on the left hand side, 2 goals on the left hand side, 1 to the side and 1 to the north. If he gets under land pressure at some point, shouldn't be too difficult for him to wall himself up as well. potentially go for something like this, but that's going to be about it for the most part. And this bull lane is also available to the blue player. Meanwhile, for red, and let's take a look at this though, as the field is here. Nicov brings the scout back. He's just trying to maximize the damage he does to MbL scout, but it's not worth it. And in the end, the scout's going down from Nicov. So close. Nicov is running away over here, and he gets away with the scout with very low HP just by the skin of his teeth. By the skin of his teeth, rather. And yeah, that's gonna be about it. Third duck's coming up for Nicov. We didn't really take a look at the MbL's map generation too much. Not too important right now, but he does have one gold on the right hand side and then one stone on the back, and then the rest of the resource will be farther away, with the stone and the golds being very far on the left hand side. Not too difficult for him to wall himself up as well. Something like this is going to be enough for him to get full corner, but anyway, let's take a look at the center as we see the first few fire galleys come out from MbL. And the first few fire galleys come out from Nicov. The 200 extra wood that the blue player gets by getting to the next stage, plus the fact that he clicked up a little bit later with a stronger economy, should put him in a very good spot. Unit control over here might not be the best though. Yeah, but he's just trying to take on the fire galleys over there. And you know what? If Nicov plays his cards right, he could potentially bring one of the fishing ships over here and just get in the way of the fire galleys fire and prevent taking any extra damage. So now just gonna be banking on the villager, repairing the fire galley instead, and he will be pushing MbL out, and he gets the first kill over there. First blood as fire galley goes down. Now we have 4 versus 3 favoring Nicov, who's got 3 ducks with only 2 queued up though. And MbL, same situation. He's got a demolition raft coming up right now, and it's a very important unit to add into the mix. Whoever manages to land the best demo shots over here is still gonna be put in a very good spot. Still gonna be left in a very good spot. And Nicov's starting to go for the walls. It's not bad, especially if he does it with a single villager. It's not terrible. So here comes the demo raft from Nicov, and MbL seems like he's paying attention. Is he going to realize about this on time? No! He does! And that is actually a very even trade. 1 for 1. However, Nicov's the only player left with a demolition raft over here, and MbL's going for more, producing from 2 dogs, and Nicov is going for more, producing from 3 dogs. 1 demolition raft and extra fire galleys, and it's looking great. The blue player is looking fantastic as he's trying to pull the fire galleys over there. MbL is going to end up losing one of the fire galleys over there. Good unit control though, as he ended up sacrificing the low HP one. But anyway, Nicov seems like he's going to clean this up. That is a fairly lackluster shot, but will still end up giving Nicov a massive lead on water. As now we see demolition rafts coming out from MbL, and Nicov's got a much higher fire galley count compared to the red player. It's only a matter of keeping heavy fire galley production from Nicov and paying attention to his army so he does not get taken down by demolition rafts. So if he just goes for triple dog fire galley production, the same thing he's been going for the last minute or so, and pays attention to his units, prevents MbL from landing big shots, he should be in a pretty good spot. He's gotta keep on going though, because MbL has the potential to go for extra fire galleys and demolition rafts and potentially try to contest water back. Most exciting fight in AoE? Fire galley war? Hey, at the very least, this is not just standard galley on galley action like old school AOC. There is a potential over here for some good demo shots, some juicy ones. So far, we haven't seen any, but we could. Who knows? Do we have any demo rafts on the way? We do. Yes, 2 demo rafts on the way, as a matter of fact. Nikov's kept on going for fire galleys. He's kept his own demo on the way. Am I alone in the fact that I love AO2 water? I don't mind it. I don't know if I love it, but I definitely do not hate it. I know some people like straight out hate it, but it's, to me, it's okay. I do too. My elo, it's fun though. Fair point. Then we're raft over there, and that was a good shot from MbL. This is why I was saying he needs to pay attention over here, make sure he keeps the unit scattered. And that was a lackluster one, you see? Only targeted a single unit. And Nicov's definitely looking stronger over here still, for sure. That demo raft coming up over here from MbL shouldn't really achieve too much of anything, and it doesn't. It doesn't, so Nikov's going to be left still on more Navy units compared to MbL. As a matter of fact, doesn't even take too many losses. And he'll be the first player to click out to the castle. Just MbL is getting close in resources, but doesn't have the buildings. There we go. At some point, it's better to abandon water. Oh yeah, MbL would have been better off just quitting water a while ago. After he got cleaned up the first time, as opposed to trying to regain water over here, he would have been better off just trying to make a play for land, go up to the castle and whatnot. But you gotta understand that there is a very large advantage by having water over not having water. So you cannot really blame MbL for trying to get water control back, because if he loses the docks over here and he's unable to go for any extra navy, Nikov's just going to boom away. There's a lot of extra food over here at the center. There's thousands of extra resources for free. And yeah, plus the fact that MbL is playing Japanese, if he ever is able to get water control, he finds himself in a much better spot because his fishing ships are so much more efficient. A different civilization would probably not have tried to get water back, perhaps. But yeah, you can't blame MbL for trying. And now, guess it's gonna be here for Nicov. MbL still some ways off. He's going just for demolition rafts at this point, and wouldn't be surprised to see MbL just try to go forward and target fishing ships, because it's obvious that with demolition rafts alone, he cannot get water control back. The only thing he can do is go forward and hope to at the very least prevent Nicov from taking advantage of the free resources. Yeah, that is not good. Yeah, sure, he's taking the fire galleys down. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, doesn't affect Nikov's water economy. And Nicov doesn't care about these units. If he ends up cleaning MbL's docks down, even if he's got a small amount of fire galleys, it's better for him to just keep the fishing ships alive. Oh, MbL's going for extra docks on the right hand side though. And Chica, look at that! How unlucky is this line of sight for Nicov? You gotta be freaking kidding me. Oh, one side too far from both these docks. Does MbL expect that to be the case? I think he might know. I think he was probably expecting the fishing ships, if they were collecting from here, right, to not have enough line of sight. Wow. Just amazing. My lord. This is great. MbL's got a second chance over here. He's gonna start putting some pressure on land as well. He's got a monastery coming up, and we could potentially see even a siege workshop come in very soon as well. And MbL will get spotted over here by Nikov's villager on the right hand side, and it seems like Nicov was trying to go for some walls, probably at the center over here. Now he will realize about the docks. Now Nikov's going to realize about it. He's going for extra docks himself. He knows. He knows now, and he's going to try and hold on to water. Meanwhile, MbL's got 5 fire ships right now with the war galley upgrade, and Nicov is on 4 fire galleys and 2 demolition rafts. So this should be really good for MbL. Seems like he will end up, if not fully getting control of the water back, at the very least taking the majority of the fishing ships down from Nicov. The bull player won't be too heavily affected by this because of the extra TCs being already up. He can go for extra villagers, and that compensates for losing water. At this point in time, it's not quite as good though, as he's getting a lot of idle TC time, and his food economy was relying on the fish ships quite a bit. But once he sorts that out, once he gets a few extra farms up, he should be in a much better position to keep the TCs working. And MbL, well, MbL's in a similar position too. He's got the second and third TC on the way, but he's got only 5 farmers over here, so that'll be sufficient only for 1 TC production. He's gonna start trying to fix that by going for fishing ships. Once again, more efficient for Japanese. But Nicov, I would argue at this point in time, it's better for Nicov to just give up on the water and try to focus on his land economy. Potentially go for a 4TC, get the farms up, and just try to keep up like that. Huge crisis in Japan. Housing crisis in Japan, yeah. When Nicov fixes it, rather. He's gonna keep on trying, by the way. Still no War Galley upgrade. Both players are going very heavily at it. Let's take a look at Gallery economy time so far. It's favoring Nicov by about 40 minutes or so. Nice monk snipe over here. In overall... Yeah, overall Nicov's KD is not quite as good as MbL, so the extra gallery economy time he's gotten so far will kind of compensate for the less than ideal, for the lesser KD.
Sorry.
But if he catches up, then he's gonna be in a better position. For TC on the way, actually, for MbL, not for Nicov. He's catching up in worker count. There we go. War Galley upgrades finally on the way for Nicov. And he's taking his sweet time. He's been extremely patient. He's got enough stone to get a castle up close to the shoreline. But on top of that, he's got 12 fire galleys with 4 more on the way. So he's gonna have more navy units compared to what MbL's got right now. Once he had garrisons everything. And the conversions are coming up, and there we go. Now Nicov's going after the units. MbL gets completely pushed away. The HP over here is favoring Nicov. For sure. Not by a lot. But if you can get a good surround over here, that's going to be fantastic. Gotta be careful over here not to take up bad engagement. Fire ships, demolition ships are coming over, and bam! That's a huge shot! And BAM! Another one! 2 big shots from Nicov. MbL's bringing the demolition ship over here. Nicov does pay attention and ends up losing a single unit. And you know what? 22 to 3 military units for Nicov and MbL respectively. 22 to 1. He's done it. He's gotten control back. That was a really good comeback from MbL, but Nicov ultimately ends up securing water control once again. Beautiful. We'll see any extra fishing ships though, that's the question. He's taking advantage of this or not. On the left hand side, Nicov's going for stone walls to make sure that MbL cannot get through. And then on the right hand side, he did send the villager forward, but in the end, I think the villager either went down or he ended up pulling it back, but he was trying to go for the walls on the right hand side, couldn't do it. Should try though, in my opinion. Going for some walls over here, connecting the water and the wood line would make it basically impossible for MbL to get to the other side. Now I think this is still crossable, isn't it? Don't you need one more wall over here on top? I think you do. I think you do. Yeah, there we go. He's in the village. It's beautiful. Extra tanks on the way for Nicov. He doesn't need any extra navy, but can't hurt if MbL was to somehow come back on water. The extra docks will allow Nicov to still stay competitive. Regardless though, at this point in time, the blue player is looking great as he's gonna have enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age very soon, and MbL seems like he's struggling instead. And once Nicov gets to the Imperial Age, well, he's got 2 villages forward over here, so he can go for anything he wants. He can go for siege. He's playing with Dravidians. He can go for archers. He can go for another castle himself very soon. With 2 villages, it would take some time, but if he stays beyond the line of sight of MbL, we'll be able to get away with it. And it's going to be archer ranges, yes. And then on the right hand side, MbL is getting completely cleaned up. On water, he's getting completely cleaned up on land as well. We have the Rumi swordsman over here whipping the monastery. Or would you say slashing, slaying the monastery, shredding the monastery down to smithereens. And the Imperial is on the way for the bull player. What is the situation for MbL? He doesn't have the resources, not even close as a matter of fact. Oh, MbL's got Samurai though. But Nicov realized about the units, he's going for extra archer ranges, and it seems like the Samurai won't be able to do much of anything, so MbL's going for a castle over here to put a stop to Nikov's push. It's fine. Nicov can destroy the wall over here, potentially go out somewhere else. Could bring a transport ship over and try to land elsewhere, but at this point in time, he doesn't really have the intention to do that, so it's most likely not just gonna try to defend his position over here from the water alone. We don't have enough range though. He's going for Bakinar. Once he gets it, this castle gets denied basically. Just gotta be careful. Yeah, there we go. Take a look at that. Take a look at that. Now he could potentially deny the castle, so MbL's trying to use the Samurai as a meat shield so he can keep the villagers up. Now the crosses are coming out from Nicov, and the war galleys should be able to deny this one alongside the crossbows. You take a look at what the blue players got to work with over here. The range is great, and the extra villagers for MbL won't make it. Will they? He's going for it. He's going for dear life. But this castle doesn't do anything for MbL. He's losing a lot of villagers, and he doesn't really do anything. He prevents the crosses from coming in, yes, but he's losing a lot of villagers. And Nicov, he doesn't really care about this too much. He can transport units. He can go for extra crosses on the back, transport them over. He's got full water control. He doesn't care about this. Plus, he's gotten to the Imperial Age, and we'll get chemistry right away for Nicov. So once he gets it, he can go for Cannon Galleon and take the castle down. Yeah, you see, I mean, he doesn't even need to transport them. He just goes for extra archer ranges a little bit further back, and it's alright. Siege Workshop's already out for Nicov. So once he gets chemistry, we could see Cannon Galleon come out for Nicov. Yes, of course, it's always going to be a possibility. But then, of course, there's also the possibility of bombard cannons. As he finishes researching chemistry, he's just going for BBC right away. It's going to be more crossbows too, but it's 6 on the way. Here you go. Here comes the bombard cannon. He's got 2 siege workshops, so extra BBC on the way. This guess is not really going to survive for very long. I like that the MbL at the very least was able to keep up with the economy with land units for the most part, with villagers, right? But it doesn't seem to me like it's going to be enough. Nicov is in a much better position. He's got shipwright. He's got Galleon on the way. Should be able to go for Cannon Galleon. And that will put him in a much better spot, of course. So he'll be able to deny so much land from water alone. And at this point in time, it doesn't seem like there is too much of a way back for MbL, right? If Nicov, so long as Nicov's able to hold on to his position, he should be in a much better spot. Because if you take a look at the resources available around the map, MbL's got 3 golds over here to collect from. That's going to be worth about 7,000 gold. That is a good amount of it. That is not, you know, change. That's a good chunk of gold. But you take a look at Nicov, and Nikov's got all of this gold available himself too. Plus the sides, which means that he's got also extra wood. Interestingly enough, it seems as if MbL's got more gold available left compared to Nicov, but if he gets pushed away from the left-hand side over here, he won't be able to secure these 3 tiles. So that's gonna be worth about 1800 resources, and that's going to put Nicov in the lead again for available resources. Because on the way on the right-hand side, Nicov's gonna try and prevent MbL from getting to his half of the map. He lands with a villager over here. Does he land? I think he probably just sent the villager, right? Let's get the archer range on the way and on the left-hand side. The push is incredible from Nicov. Arbalisters, bombard cannons. MbL's going for Cataparuto. And get ready to see full-on Trev Micronerd mode over here for MbL. With Cataparuto, you know, he can actually fight the bombard cannons back. He can dodge the shots if he plays it right. But it's pretty difficult still. I'm really sure if MbL will be able to keep up going for something like this for too long. What is that, Cataparuto? What does it do? It makes the trebuchets attack faster, and then it makes them pack and unpack faster. Take a look at that. Pow! Packed. Against a max range bombard cannon, you can technically pack your trebuchet, move it, unpack it, attack, pack it, move it. So you can micro it kind of like a bombard cannon, but it's much more micro intensive because you have to command the trebuchets to pack and unpack. A little bit, right? What? What are you doing, Nicov? What? Let me go back 30 seconds over there. What was that? Anyway, dude, long time no siege. 9-month streak, 13-month subs. Thank you so much for the extended support. And bam! Nicov chunks his own Arbalisters. He feels he's at a too much of an advantage over here against MbL, so he decides to nerf his push a little bit. Yes, it was calculated. He had too much population over here. He needed more space to go for skirmishers. Thanks so much for the support, Dimeweg. Very much appreciated, and that's a long time as well. 9-month streak is fantastic. 13 months total is more than a year, so it's very much appreciated, and I hope you're having a good time. Five bombard cannons there for Nicov. Yeah, let's take a look to see if MbL is going to micro these properly or not. Alright, he's moving the trebuchet back. I'm working on ships nowadays, so I normally can't be too active here, but I'm gonna stop supporting you. Thank you so much for the support, Dimeweg. It's very much appreciated. So working on ships, are you on cruises? What are you doing? Entertainment, staff? Sounds really, really good, Dimeweg, honestly. Good stuff. Here we go. And a cannon galleon. Shipsmith. And a longship. Didn't clarify, it was actually a canoe all along. Yeah, Nicov's in a fantastic spot. And MbL, interestingly enough, because of his stronger economy over here, he actually struggles because he cannot go for quite as much in terms of military. And let's take a look. Take a look at that. You see, MbL attacks, moves, back, and then he can go forward, target the bombard cannons once again, move back, and he's going to do the same on the left-hand side as well. So he's doing a really good job. The trebuchets over here, fully utilizing Cataparuto. There we go. Targets the bombard cannons. Yes. From both sides, and Nicov's struggling to actually make the bombard cannon work. Because then MbL's paying attention. He bails. He attacks, and he bails. I'm not even kidding. I'm actually literally working on longships. Oh, okay. Alright. Sounds good. Nicov needs to go for light cavalry. And earlier, I think I saw him go for cavalry a little bit, but not too much. Now, it definitely seems like it should be the way to go. We have only skirmishers and siege for MbL, right? Yeah. Nicov went as far as to research elite cannon galleon too. And he's putting some pressure from the shoreline over here, but it's gotta be careful. You know, MbL still can potentially take the cannon galleon down with trebuchets too. So I guess if Nicov just plays this one for the latest stages of the game, we're gonna see the wood player just win this one by getting more wood control compared to MbL. Most likely. Like, MbL is going to run out of resources eventually. Ever seen the strap use? Yeah, you rarely ever see it. So MbL unpacks the trebuchet. There we go. He's got 2. Should target the bombard cannon over here. There we go. He's trying to go after the... Yeah, there we are. Trying to go after the skirmishes right now. He needs to target the bombard cannon. Now needs to pack them up. Move away. He strikes. MbL. He's not paying attention though. He's going to end up losing one of the trebuchets over there. And the bombard cannon goes down. The trebuchet goes down. And now MbL's moving the trebs away. After having lost one already. Not the best, but at the very least he's able to keep up. I probably would have lost everything anyway. And now Elite Samurai coming up for MB. He's got 3 castles though, so it could be good. But notice, he needs to start pushing out, because very soon it's gonna be out of wood over here. He cannot collect from close to the shoreline, so none of these 4 wood lines actually work. He's already ran out of the wood in the back, and yeah, over here, because we have the skirmishers coming over from Nicov, he can collect from this one as well. So this will be the only economy that we have from Nicov. And he's gonna try and push the only economy we have from MbL, sorry. He's going to try and push Nicov away. Take a look at that! How good would it be for Nicov to start bringing some light cavalry on the left-hand side over here? Imagine. Just imagine. Especially if MbL is gonna be sticking to skirmishers only for the most part. Light cavalry would absolutely dominate that. And we have north of 100 villagers on the left-hand side on a single screen over here for MbL, 102 villagers. So this is huge. As you can see, MbL recognizes this. Let's bring the trebuchets over to help defend Nicov. Yeah, Nicov's still trying to push on the right-hand side, but it's unlikely he'll be able to achieve too much from here. There isn't really too much that MbL's got to work with besides just farmers, which skirmishers alone won't be able to take down. So I think it's very important for Nicov to stop going for pressure on the right-hand side, or at the very least try and increase his pressure on the left-hand side. And he should be in a good spot, right? Once again, it's going to come down to wood control. MbL's losing lumberjacks over here. Yeah, it's gonna be out of wood very soon. He's got a lot backed up still, but you take a look at the resources for Nicov and you see that MbL's economy is just a drop in the bucket. He might have close to 3,000 wood available. Well, Nicov's got close to 8,000 wood available and access to extra wood. So MbL, once he runs through his reserves, he's going to struggle to produce any more units. And as a matter of fact, right now he's struggling to produce units, as is. He's run out of gold already, and the gold that he's got is what he had left from what he collected before. Nicov officially runs out of gold as well. Both these players at about the same time, as Nicov just finishes mining the last bit of gold over there. It's going to be both players in the same position, but of course we see a much stronger economy for Nicov with much more access to wood. He's going to be the player who will be able to utilize the market to sustain his gold unit production much better compared to Nicov. Much better compared to MbL, sorry. And now we have armor elephants moving on. Siege elephants for Nicov even. Dude, I need to learn the aesthetic difference between armor elephants and siege elephants because I always mix them up. And it's looking pretty over, not gonna lie, yes sir. Here we are. Well, MbL is about... He's run about halfway through his wood reserve, so he cannot really go for much of anything anymore. He's down to 123 populations, just been crumbling under the pressure from Nicov. Nicov's still on 200 population, can go for units for days. He's got almost 100 skirmishes queued up. And yeah, MbL is not calling the GG over here because he's a survivor, but we all know the game is pretty much over at this point. Of course, from the spectators' point of view, it's much easier to see. Yeah, once he runs out of these units, it's gonna be over. He can't keep on going for more, he's got no wood economy. I wanted to bet on MbL, misclicked on Nicov after I bet someone bet huge on MbL, so that I was fine with my Nicov bet because the odds changed and now Nicov is winning. That's very good for you, odds. Here we go. MbL still not calling it. Nicov still 200 population. I am not really sure what it is that MbL is waiting for. It's not really possible for him to do anything with these units on the left. If you want to gamble your points away, Einweg, you are gonna have to do exclamation mark bet or exclamation mark gamble. Polico upgrades is not Nicov, someone is playing from his account. Hey, there we go. Redemption's coming up for MbL. This is exactly what he needs. Now the game's back, guys. Don't worry, MbL's got this. The floor does not exist anymore. Yeah, you have Noblins, but the roulette command is not working for whatever reason. I'm not really sure if it was broken before, but you can do bet or gamble. Exclamation mark bet or exclamation mark gamble. It works like that. Beautiful. Castle goes down over here to the cannon galleon. I honestly, I'm extremely puzzled as to why MbL keeps on going over here. We know he's a survivor, yes, but it should be quite apparent already that the game is over. He should know that Nicov's got access to thousands upon thousands of extra wood still. And basically MbL doesn't really have much of an economy at all. Is MbL, he does not give up easily? There we go, calls a GG right now. Well, giving up easily would have been given up after he lost water control the first time around. This is dragging it on for a little bit longer than that, but in the end, Nicov does end up taking game number 3, guys. That's going to be the second victory for Nicov in the series so far. 1 hour game. Let's go through the achievements before we go back, pay the predictions off, and take a look at the remaining civilizations and maps for the rest of the series. Game number 4 was going to be match point always, right? But yeah, for this one, Nicov comes out on top with a very close to 3 to 2 KD ratio, an economy that's stronger as well by about 13,000 compared to MbL. And for society, we see a higher villager max count for MbL. At the end of the matter though, he ended up taking the most losses amongst these players with 144 villagers going down throughout the game for MbL, while Nicov ended up losing 3 villages he lost. 3 villages. 3 aldeanos. Down throughout the game for Nicov. Well played. And we are in game number 4. MbL playing with Hindustanis. This one we have Arabia. And then up in the north we have Nicov playing with the Chinese. Let's enable predictions as well for 5 minutes. Starting from now, you're able to predict who you think is going to win game number 4, with option 1 being Nicov and option 2 being MbL. Using channel points, go nuts! And let me take a look at this. So, this is what the overlay looks like. Do you feel this is too obtrusive to keep it on at all times? I'm really sure we will want to keep it over there though, because that's going to clash with the researches and the unit production. 0-second idle TC? Yes, that's because on this game mode, the players begin with 9 villagers, 6 villagers underneath the TC surrounding a sheep already. So, with Chinese, you're able to get to 0 seconds of idle TC time, which means they are particularly strong over here. I know, but still. Well, yeah, it was impressive as long as it lasted. Now it's going up too. But I was going to say, yeah, I don't think I have seen like 0 seconds before. It's usually going out to 2 or 3 seconds, but I guess it's not going to be too long-lived. Yeah, it is literally 3 villages ahead, I feel. It's really, really good for Chinese. So, what do you think about that? Is the overlay okay over there? Do you find it too intrusive, perhaps? I'm not really sure. I think it's fine. So long as we don't get any researches. I think we're gonna have to fix it for researches though. It's fine? Okay. I guess we're just going to leave it there then. Ah, man, I don't know. No, you know what? You know what? I'm not going to have it. No. I'm going to remove it. I will include it into the stream when I find a way to integrate it a little bit better so it doesn't look like just slapped on top and it kind of takes away some of the vision. I'm going to bring this up once I am able to adapt it to the stream. So that's another thing to add to my to-do list. Yeah, it doesn't really add too much. So if I can integrate it in a way that you can use a command and have it pop up, probably on top of the chat or something like that, I think that probably works better. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, you already know that this is Arabia. You already know that this is Nicov versus MbL. You already know that this is for Warlords, right? Just the little information adds something? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So Village is coming out for both these guys. And we haven't really talked about the civilizations or the maps too much, so sorry about that. And let's see, there's still about 1 minute and 45 seconds left for you guys to get your predictions going. As we see both these guys go up to the village. Nicov's already managed to wall himself up. Thus, he'll keep these resources safe. The gold in the back, which is a beautiful gold. And that'll be about it, right? Because the wool line over here could potentially... Oh my lord. The wool line over here could potentially get denied by towers or archers. We could see the same thing over here for this one. So that's not too protected, but... MbL is playing Hindustan. So we're most likely not expecting to see scouts. As opposed to archers, so I don't think the woolens will be affected too much over there. Meanwhile, down the south, we'll see that MbL's got 1 goal farther away from the TC, though. This goal is not quite as safe compared to Nikov's. And then, the secondary goals are just so far away. Take a look at this. The stone is so far away, and it's a much more open map as well, so if he wanted to wall himself up, it's going to be pricier too, if he wants to go for something like this, for instance, right? And even then, he wouldn't really protect the goal over here. Just this one on the left-hand side. With lesser known players, it is interesting. Yeah, I think at some point we are going to be able to use it with a command. So I'll make it so that you do a command in the chat, and then the panel is going to pop up. Go stable for Nicov. We were expected to see scouts from MbL. Nicov with Chinese, he can go for scouts, but you know, he can also go for archers. Today Hebe the Bonafini died. Who would that be? It feels to me like you probably mentioned this in the past. Let me know. Ah, I see. I see, guys. Rip. And rip a villager over here as well, MbL. Takes one down. Takes a villager down. Founder even? Right. Yeah. Yeah, man, feels bad. Well, Nico's the only player who's been able to get any damage down so far. We are 11 minutes into the game and he's gotten 2 kills, one of those a villager. And MbL's struggling to get the walls up, and take a look at those walls. He's going for a potato base again. But this doesn't really protect the resources though. Once again, if he had gone for the walls towards the edge of the map over here, he would have protected this. And he would have been able to protect the walls because he's got villagers close to... He's got villagers around the mill, right? But instead he's run around like this. My lord, it's just a potato sack base again from MbL. We have seen him go for these bases so much in the past. Not in this tournament specifically, but so much in the past. Some people will call these MB walls. And because Nicov with Chinese gets already 3 extra villagers to work with, take a look at the worker count for these guys. With 1 villager pick, Nicov manages to find himself 4 workers ahead compared to MbL. And because he's the one going for military for the most part over here, he's delayed to the castle age a little bit more compared to MbL. At the very least, it seems as if the red player will be able to go up a little bit faster. But Nicov does have a stronger. He does have a stronger food economy, for instance. So he shouldn't lag too far behind. If MbL is able to click up earlier compared to Nicov, which doesn't seem like it's going to be the case anymore at all, as Nicov's, yeah, just getting so far ahead in economy now. Nicov wouldn't have lagged too far behind, but it seems right now quite clear that Nicov's going to be the first one to go up, and MbL is going to be the one lagging behind. He's got a blacksmith on the way, no market for the red player, so he just needs to wait for food collection, and this is so rough though! He also kind of needs the blacksmith if he's ever hoping to get anything done with these archers, but without a market, he can now balance his economy. And take a look at that. Nicov's already on his way to the castle. He's gonna be there in about 2 minutes and 5 seconds, while MbL is so far off. If he's just waiting for villagers to collect the food over here, it's going to take probably as long as it's going to take for Nicov to get to the castle age for MbL to even be able to click up. Here we go. Castle H. It's gonna be here very soon for Nicov and MbL. It's taking a while. It's taking a while. He will be able to eventually click up. But this is behind by 2 minutes already. Yes. Exactly 2 minutes. Actually, not quite. 1 minute and 58 seconds. But still, a significant head start for Nicov. Absolutely fantastic. Let me take a look at the predictions. What are predictions looking like over here? Looking better for MbL. 4 people betting a lot more bones for MbL over here compared to people believing in Nicov. Or believing in the Chinese civilization. Nicov, as he gets to the castle age already, we're gonna see the crossbow upgrade and the Balkan arrow upgrades come up right away. Back to back. And you know what, man, MbL, he doesn't really have too much to defend himself with. He's got some archers, but he's in the village. What is he gonna do? We have the crossbow upgrade. There we go. And now Nicov is in a much better position. The hill advantage over here might help MbL a little bit, but Nicov with good unit control over here should be able to take all of these units down without really taking any losses in. He will end up taking many of the archers down. He's coming in with the scout. He's going to take another weak archer down, leaving the red player and only 5 archers over here. Meanwhile, Nicov, he's got only 4 crossbows, mind you, so not the best for the bull player either, and definitely could have been a little bit better for him, but he's got a second group of units pushing from the north, plus extra crossbows coming up by the minute. Just want the full set? Imagine. Nicov, that'll be an extremely high risk thing for him to do though. Let MbL take this one in order to get the full set, given just how strong MbL is. And the fact that we have Yucatan left for game number 5 potentially, that'll be risky, to put it one way, for Nicov. At this point in time, he is ahead still by 4 workers. However, MbL will be the one to go for extra TCs earlier, so he should be able to catch up very soon, plus the fact that he saved resources for each villager he goes for. Nicov instead, he's getting wheelbarrow. He's got already horse collar and double bit axe. And he still has momentum though. The player with the most military over here, Nicov, is the one to put the most pressure. Plus, he's gone for ballistics too, so he can take villagers in motion over there, and that's another one going down. All of a sudden, MbL is completely denied of food. How does he keep the thesis working without food? He can't. He can't. He cannot go for anything. He cannot go for the crossman upgrade. Cannot go for blocking arrow. Cannot go for villagers. 4 siege workshops coming up for Nicov, yes. As he goes for a second TC as well, seems to have timed his building significantly better compared to the way MbL's gone about it. And we just need one more group of crossbows from Nicov so that he places those around this area. And then all of a sudden, gold's out of the question. This is out of the question, right? All the farms out of the question. Yeah, and honestly, on the right-hand side, a little bit of an engagement going kind of in favor of MbL in the sense that he was trading for stronger units, but still Nicov's gonna be the one left on top. Clean those units up. Now MbL's down to only 1 military unit, and Nicov, despite being on 2 TCs, has been able to stay ahead by quite a lot. Take a look at Nicov's economy. What is this? How is Nicov so close to have enough resources to go out to the Imperial Age after putting so much pressure? It's just amazing. As MbL's trying to survive, and he just moves over to the side over here. We saw MbL and Baltic just hang on for so long. Well, he looks very much dead over here. He will keep on trying. We know that. We know MbL's a survivor. And let's take a look at this, because that could be a big shot, and bang! It is a good shot, and we'll see another good shot over there. Nicov's unit control over there is good though. He'll try to get the Mangonel down. If he can do it, then he'll still be able to keep on denying these resources from MbL. So he definitely wants to keep on trying to get the Mangonel down, but he won't be able to in the end. This doesn't really change too much for MbL. The red player still does not have any access to food. Even if he was able to get access to the farms once again over here, that's only 4 farms. Actually 5, make that 5 farms. That's gonna be enough for him to produce from 1 TC. And elsewhere, he is under a lot of pressure as well, as now Nicov's got Mangonels, taking the siege workshop over here with a hill advantage. He's gonna be in a good spot so far as he pays attention. He is not going to allow MbL to take the Mangonels down either. So yeah, blue player keeps on getting a stronger and a stronger lead over here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the difference between top 12 and top 8 is going to be $500. Just making it into the quarterfinals is going to guarantee $500 more, so the players will certainly want to keep on trying for as long as they can. But realistically speaking, MbL, well, so long as so long as Nicov doesn't throw over here, MbL should be in a good spot, right? Nicov with the heal advantage over there. Cleans out the Mangonel on the right-hand side. Still has 4 Mangonels left. MbL. Nicov's got 4 Mangonels left, and MbL has got 2 farmers, 4 TCs, and a dream. 2 Mangonels, 2 farmers, 4 TCs, and a dream. So far as we know, to get 2 Mangonels down over here, which equalizes the trade for the last few minutes. Nicov. Nicov was looking like he was going to be able to go up to the Imperial Lich earlier, but he ended up utilizing the resources. And now instead we see extra Knights coming out for Nicov. And we have extra Mangonels coming out. Plus, he's gotten a 30C up, and his villager production is also going to require some food. So he won't be able to go up anytime soon. Meanwhile, MbL is finally in a position to start adding some extra farms. That's going to bring him up to 7 food workers. Nicov is 100% in the driver's seat over here, though. If he plays his cards right, if both players play well over here, Nicov wins 10 out of 10 times. So unfortunately, MbL, and we have talked about this in the past, sometimes players find themselves in positions where they cannot really take the game back by just playing perfectly, but they will be relying on their opponents to make mistakes. And Nicov's played pretty much flawless so far. Sure, he's taken some losses, but if you take a look at the KD, it's been much better for him. He's got a very close 2-to-1 KD ratio, so he's gotten 2 kills for each unit that he's lost. And even the cost of the trades over there was pretty even too, or actually better for Nicov rather, right? Because he was trading Mangonels for Mangonels, he was trading, you know, crossbows for villagers. It's been great, and now he's got 5 Mangonels, taking the DC down on the right-hand side, pushing MbL away. If MbL ends up to the DC over here, that's going to be 2 food workers he won't be able to utilize anymore, plus access to the wood. And that DC is going down 100%. MbL's gonna try and bring the Mangonel over there, but we see a scout going after the siege, taking the monk down. And this DC is saved by the monk. But the Mangonel goes down, man, and MbL cannot keep on going, and he calls a GG. Nicov 3, MbL 1. Game number 4 favors the Argentinian, and he's gonna be the one moving on to the quarterfinals for a guaranteed prize, $500 extra compared to what MbL gets over here. MbL gets knocked out of the tournament in the top 12. KD favors Nicov by quite a lot, about 3-2. For economy, we see a stronger economy for Nicov as well, collecting about 7,000 extra resources. Then for society, we see for villager max over here count, Nicov does end up getting about 27 extra villager max count. He didn't lose a single villager this game. Meanwhile, MbL, he ended up producing only 4 fewer villagers compared to Nicov, but he ended up losing so much more. 23 villagers went down this game for MbL. So well done. Nicov moves on. MbL gets knocked out.